Hello everyone, welcome to the Realm of Comics where we discuss everything. Let me clear my throat. I don't know. Don't pay me any time, any attention, anytime, any attention. What is the thing for me, girls? Don't look at me. I am beautiful. Okay, I promise I'm done. I'm completely finished. Hello, welcome to the Realm of Comics where we talk everything graphic novels, manga, and comics. I don't even remember my own intro. Shameless product insert here because why not? Because why not? Hello. Welcome to another video where I am doing another TBR stack where I'm going to be talking about some comics and graphic novels that I want to read that are a perfect fit for Blackoween. So if you didn't know, if you primarily watch this channel, you don't really watch my other channel, it's fine. It happens. Maybe you're just here for the comics, the graphic novels, and the manga, and you don't care about the other books, which, fine. I'm gonna stop being extra because I'm being super extra here. But yes, if you did not know, Bree from the Lock Booktician, who is my co-host for all of the wonderful things that we do over on this channel. Yes, I know we have not had a Realm of Comics meeting in a long time. I haven't forgotten. I promise we haven't forgotten. It's just October is a busy month, and October is a busy month because October is Blackoween. Honey, Blackoween. Hello. So I'm definitely going to share Bree's channel as well as her announcement for Blackoween. The time that this video is going up, it is not too late to join. If you are a comic lover, graphic novel lover, it is not too late to join for Blackoween. So I wanted to talk about a couple of things that I would either like to read this year. I have about 2 weeks left, and so there is potential for me to make it to these things before the end of the month, or things that I could possibly read next year. Because, honey, we love to see the fact that this is an annual event, all right? So, of course, I'm going to go ahead and knock this one out the way, like the very first one that I'm not going to really dive into deeply. I think everybody's pretty much familiar with Bitterroot. I actually am reading that one as one of the prompts for Ruby's Screw Park, which Bree created to put an emphasis on children's literature, middle grade literature, all things comics and graphic novels, and I really appreciate her for creating that space for those of us who like those mediums of literature. I really appreciate that. So this is going to be something that we can look forward to constantly in the future. And so I decided one of the prompts for Ruby's Screw Park was to read a book where we have characters who get infected. And so, of course, Bitterroot fit perfectly with that. I'm not going to dive into the particulars of Bitterroot. I am talking about Bitterroot in my vlogs. I am going to do a standalone look at Bitterroot and having a thorough conversation about the need to have more representation when it comes to Black artists and writers in comics. It is getting better. There are a lot out there. Don't get me wrong, it's not like they're non-existent. But I think that one of the things that I found really interesting when I was looking for titles to include in this and having so many different conversations with Bree is the lack of Black creators and illustrators, like all Black illustrator and artist teams, or illustrator writer teams that focus specifically on like crime fiction, because Blackoween is about reading books by Black authors that focuses on crime fiction that specifically, you know, features Black characters. And so it is a very interesting kind of thing to take on when we look at it from the perspective of comics and graphic novels, because there is a publishing gap there. But there are titles out there, of course, duh. And so there are a couple that I actually wanted to try out that I thought I would recommend. Bitterroot, like I said, I recommend time and time again. Bree and I have done a Realm of Comics discussion about all 3 volumes of Bitterroot. I'm talking about that now in my weekly vlogs. If you're not watching those, definitely check those out. But I thought that I would highlight 4 other titles that I have not read that I am interested in checking out. So the first one of these is Farmhand. I have heard really good things about Farmhand, particularly from Deidre over at Shade Tree Reads. She had brought this one to my attention a long time ago, and she read it and she enjoyed it, and so I'm really looking forward to it. Farmhand is written by Rob Guillory, who I really enjoy because Rob Guillory was part of the team for Chew. Y'all know that Chew is one of my favorite serialized comics to come out of Image. Have I finished the series? No, but we're not going to talk about that right now. We are here just to talk about the fact that I am familiar with Rob Guillory as a creator, and so he has developed this entire thing called Farmhand. So Farmhand focuses on a character. I'm going to look down because I feel like I'm going to get his name wrong. His name is Jedediah Jenkins. That is a hell of a name. Jedediah Jenkins. If that ain't old school, I don't know what is. So Jedediah actually grows body parts. If you need a new liver, you need a new finger, you need a new foot, you need anything body-wise, he's got you covered because he grows all that stuff. It's the premise already, but after reading Chew, it's not that far of a stretch for me to be shocked and surprised that this is something that would be coming from Rob Guillory, but still, this man grows on-demand body parts. So Strange Produce apparently is not the only thing that is growing in the Jenkins family farm. There are other things that are growing that are starting to take root and bloom, and so in reading this we get to figure out the mystery behind the Jenkins family. I'm really looking forward to this. To my knowledge, I believe it is only 2 volumes, if I'm not mistaken. I think it is only 2 complete volumes. Oh no, it's 4. Goodness gracious, how could I? It's 4 volumes. So I probably will check out the first one and then see how I feel after that. So the next one I have is one that I've been meaning to read for a long time, and I don't know why I haven't picked it up, but it's Philadelphia. This is another one that is 4 volumes long. I am not as familiar with the writer or the team on this one. One I know has done some work on Spawn, and then there is Rodney Barnes, who is a writer of a couple of well-known TV shows. This has a very interesting premise. It follows a main character who comes home to bury his father, and he finds out that the city that he loves so much has fallen to greed, corruption, poverty, and vampires. And the twist to this one, which made my little history heart sing, is that the man behind all of this is supposedly the long dead president, John Adams, who's not really dead, but is building an army of the undead. And so I'm kind of like, what kind of sick, twisted crap is this? And so this is one that I'm looking forward to. I think I may also just check out volume 1 of this one to see how it's going to go for me. But I think with both of these, if I enjoy them, they're definitely going to be ones that I'm going to want to continue in the future. Now the next one that I found, of course, because I had to dig near and far and wide to make sure I was finding as much variety in my selections as possible. And the next one that I was able to find that I think would work for Blackoween is Bitchcraft. And this is one that's available via Webtoons. So if you did not know, I also read some stuff off of Webtoons. I think people are becoming more familiar with Webtoons as more content from Webtoons gets picked up and is getting published. I know that Webtoons, I think, does have its own kind of like smaller imprint type of situation where they are taking some of their content and publishing it and like binding it up and selling it out. And Lore Olympus is one of the bigger ones that I think people are super familiar with and now are becoming more accustomed to Webtoons. So this one is available via Webtoons. This is an ode to blackness and magic, and the premise is very queer. It has witches. From what I've seen in reviews, this one is very humorous. It is definitely, like I said, an ode to the Black community, and it's one that I'm looking forward to reading. This is not one that I think you're gonna find, like if you're looking for reviews and stuff on Goodreads. That the thing about Webtoons is that a lot of it is not connected back to what you're going to see on Webtoons. Some of it, see on Goodreads, but some of it is, but I find that a lot of the content is not. And so it's kind of one of those things where you just go in and you enjoy it and you find the community. There are reviews on the internet, but I will say, like, if you're looking for a broader spectrum of reviews and you use Goodreads as your source to do that, you're not going to find it. But there are reviews out there that talk a little bit about the work in more detail, and this is one that I definitely am interested in reading and learning more about the creator. I don't think that it's that long, to be honest with you. From what I was seeing and what I know, I don't think it's a long series. And in fact, I don't know how much of it has been completed or if the whole thing is complete. I'm gonna have to do a little bit more digging, but from what I saw, I was like, this is one that I think would be interesting and I could use for Blackoween. I'm gonna read it and I will come back with a more definite answer in terms of hopefully like me being able to read some of this content and provide stronger recommendations for what would fit for Blackoween, because I know that every time we come around to Blackoween, people are looking for more comics and graphic novels that would fit into the framework of the readathon. So the last one that I have on this list is actually one that I have read part of. I read, I think, just one issue of it. It is Victor Laval's Destroyer. So I think people are very familiar with Victor Laval's work in terms of like prose, but a lot of people are not as familiar with his work in the comic and graphic novel world. Destroyer is a very interesting flip of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. So it is definitely the same kind of idea, but instead of it being love and companionship, this is a individual now that is attempting to scourge the earth of humanity and is working closely with another main character who has recently lost her son, Black woman who's lost her son. And so the two of them are kind of working together where, you know, we have this Frankenstein-like character who has its mission and then the wrath of a mother who's lost their child. And it definitely brings forth some socio-political conversations of present day United States and the treatment of Black people in the United States. So I expect nothing but greatness. And of course, I already partially know that because I've read the first issue, but I'm interested in seeing how this works like as a whole, like in its entirety. I'm interested in seeing how it's going to work as a collective of 6 issues, because, you know, reading a standalone issue, which has happened to me before, where I've read issues 1, 2, and 3 and have been like, oh my goodness, this is great. And I've read issues 4, 5, and 6 and I'm like, what happened between the first 3 issues and the last 3 issues? So I'm interested to see what he's done with the entire work. All right, y'all. So those are 4 comics graphic novels that I am interested in checking out to prepare for Blackoween this year, or maybe thinking about Blackoween next year. I'm going to do as much digging and research as I can, because I know that there's more stuff out there that I definitely can dig into. That way people have more recommendations or have more access to materials that are comic and graphic novel readers that would be interested in using the content for the readathon. And if there are any books or creators that I have not mentioned, please let me know down in the description, not in the description box, let me know down in the comment box below. That way I can kind of add it to a working list that I have in the background. As always, make sure you check out Bree's channel and also her video if you have not seen it yet. It's not too late to join in and participate in Blackoween. As always, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more content from me, click the subscribe button and hit the bell for notifications. And I will be back with another video soon. Bye.